So today we're going to be making a dish called Unstuffed Cabbage Rolls. Now there's a European dish, Polish I think, where you do a stuffed cabbage, you wrap cabbage leaves around the mixture. This version doesn't do that. I'll just show you so you get an idea. That's a big cabbage. It's actually a wombok. So I'm going to cut the head out of that and we'll use that to make our unstuffed cabbage rolls. Here we go. G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. Holy crap, that proved a little more difficult than I had expected. So I ended up with the whole bloody cabbage. As you can see, it's completely filled the sink. But anyway, I'll set about dismembering this. I'd like to use a lot of those outer leaves. I'm almost tempted. I mean, the really older ones that look a bit sort of hard, I won't bother too much with them, but everything else I think I'll have a crack at using. We'll see how we go, eh? The heart of the wombok. As you can see, even that's pretty bloody decent size. I've also got a sink full of leaves here that I'm going to turn into kimchi. Now I'm not going to do that on video. I'll give you a recipe where I've cooked kimchi, where I've made kimchi before, and no, you don't cook it, you ferment it. And then over here I have a compost bin which is also full of a whole lot of leaves. So yeah, that one, cabbage certainly did us proud. I've got two more in the patch too. But let's get on with it, shall we? We've started off, I've got one of those Dutch oven pots there. Happens to be cast iron with an enamel finish. That's neither here nor there. So long as you've got a pot or a skillet with a lid, you'll be fine. Now, I'm going to fry that onion off. It's just one normal brown onion. I'm actually butchering a few recipes here, as I want to do. So I got one from allrecipes.com, and then I got another one from Cooking Classy. They're much of a muchness. Some are slightly more complex than others. Like I say, this one's going to represent a kind of combination of a few. While I'm going to throw in probably 3 fairly heaped teaspoons of garlic. That's because I love this stuff, can't get enough of it. But I won't do it yet. Now what I'm looking to do is get this onion sauteed. I'll then throw the garlic in and saute it for about 10-15 seconds. It burns really easy. So it'll go in then, get done quickly, taken off the heat, and I'll add the meat. It's actually in there now. Because it's a cast iron pot, I can actually take it off the heat and it will actually keep cooking at a low heat for a fair while actually, until it cools down. I'm about to add 500 grams of ground beef. Added. We'll give that a good mix around as it cooks and make sure we break it right up. Don't want any big lumpy chunks in there. I'm going to add a tin of tomatoes on account of I've been making mine into tomato sauce. I'm also going to add a bottle of tomato sauce. So mine get in there anyway. So some tomato, about a half a cup of tomato sauce, a can of diced tomatoes, about a half a cup I think of beef stock, because I happen to have beef stock spare, and then I'll throw in a bit of paprika, thyme, marjoram, a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of red wine vinegar, some fresh parsley on account of I've got tons of it, and once that all comes to the boil, I'll add that shredded head of cabbage. That's the ingredients from Cooking Classy's recipe. Just for those who wanted to see it. There you go. Extra stock, because I had a heap of beef stock that I need to use up. So I'm not going to use the tomato sauce, it'll make it too liquid. What I'll do is substitute some tomato paste. I'll use that whole container. So far, I really haven't cooked that very much, so I'm about to chop the parsley, throw that in, and then let it all go. Of course, the parsley came from the patch, don't be silly. It's got the parsley in. Tastes rather delightful, I've got to say. I may have had a rather sneaky sample. which of course I recommend very strongly you'd always do. So that sneaky try let me know I need to add more salt. The other thing I'm going to do is not lid this for a little while and let that sauce thicken back up. Remember, I didn't measure and I got a little bit carried away with the beef stock because I wanted to use it. But that's all good, it's not far off. Thickened up nicely. You can hear Rosie cooking up a storm behind me with the blender. I'm going to add some sneaky chili flakes that I make myself. Now, I've never seen that in a recipe, but I reckon it's going to improve it heaps. I'll probably add about, I don't know, half a teaspoon. I don't want it too hot, but I do want that little bit of chili bite. I think it'll be excellent. Making the kimchi, and I was grating a carrot. And I thought, oh, Andy, get another one. I'm going to put some grated carrot in this mix as well. I tell you what, we're taking the stuffed cabbage rolls to a new level today. Oh, unstuffed cabbage rolls to a new level today, folks. If you're a texture eater like that Uncle Marky from Eaton's Hill, I'd say just stir this together. Don't cook it anymore and just eat it. I'm going to stir it in and put the lid back on. I'm not going to put the heat back on because, as you can see, she's pretty hot. And I'm just going to let that sit with the lid on, covering it, because I don't really want to lose any more juice now. And that'll partway cook that grated carrot, which won't take much. And Bob's your uncle. Now we'll give it a crack. Yep. It's surprisingly tasty. I guess it shows I'm veggiest, I just invented a new word there, against cabbage, because I really thought that'd probably be boring. Quite the opposite, it's beautiful, it's very tasty. Yum. Oh, and just as a little by-you-by, I'm going to dedicate this video to a friend I used to have whose name was Catherine, who used to make the original Polish version of this in the stuffed cabbage. Like inside the leaves. So here's for you, Catherine. Now, if you like this cooking and self-sufficiency craziness, feel free to subscribe. Tap the little bell and you'll even find out when we got new videos. See ya.